Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Monday, January 3rd, 2022 slated games. Hopefully we can go ahead and start out the week right. As of yesterday, I'll do a quick recap. All of our plays that we had yesterday were sweats. There was no bet that was easy. There was no bet that was a for sure loss. Everything was right on the line. So I'll go ahead and recap real quick. We had first our favorite play of the day was Cam Johnson over 15.5 points versus Charlotte. He only takes a total of 7 shots during the game. He ends up finishing with 14 points. He did get some garbage time there in the fourth quarter, but unfortunately didn't really capitalize on it. Then we had Pascal Siakam over 19.5 points versus the New York Knicks. He ends up with 20. It was a very, very stressful bet. He ended up hitting it with like 4 minutes left in the game, I believe. So an absolute sweat bet. Then we also had Tyler Hero under 22.5 points. That one was also an extremely sweat bet. Tyler Hero didn't score in the entire first quarter. Then he got really hot and finished the first half, I believe, with like 12, I think. And then like almost the entire like second half of the fourth quarter, he had 22 points. So he went through a little bit of a dry spell, and he finished right on the line. So luckily for us, he didn't make a shot in those last like 6 minutes, and that did end up cashing for us. And then we also did have LeBron over 31.5 points versus Minnesota. That game was very, very annoying to me, especially because LeBron was on pace to get it. He had 26 points and basically didn't do anything in the fourth quarter, especially when it came to scoring the ball. So a little bit of a tough loss there. Malik Monk was absolutely on fire, so he was just kind of giving the ball off. But we're not going to worry about that too much. We're going to go ahead and hop into today's plays. First, if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. I am at 638 subscribers at the time of recording this video, so we are less than 70 subscribers away from that 700 milestone. I'd love to be able to hit that by the end of the week, and I definitely think that we can. So let's go ahead and hop into these plays as of today. First play of the day is going to be Bradley Beal over 27.5 points versus Charlotte minus 110 odds. The Hornets are a very bad defensive team. They are actually the worst defensive team in the NBA. And when it comes to shooting guards, they definitely aren't any better. They give up the most points per game to opposing shooting guards in the entire NBA. So I guess, Terry Rozier, love the guy, but apparently can't play a lick of defense. So we are going to keep attacking that for sure. In Bradley Beal's last 5 games, here has been his game log. He's gotten 27 points, 29 points, 37 points, 26 points, and 30 points. So he always finishes right around this number. So I definitely understand why the odds makers did put it at this number. But I do think that he can go ahead and get us 28 or more tomorrow. Or I guess, sorry, I'm recording this the night before. I do think he can get that for us as of tonight. And then on top of that, we all know that the Washington Wizards are pretty depleted right now. They do have Thomas Bryant still out. They still have Spencer Dinwiddie out. They have Rui out. They have Montrezl Harrell out. They also have Howell Neto out and Brad Wanamaker out. So they truly don't have a lot of guards. So the ball is always going to be in Bradley Beal's hands for I would say 3/4 of the offense. So with that being said, that's my first play of the day. Bradley Beal over 27.5 points versus Charlotte minus 110 odds. Our next play of the day is going to be Steph Curry under 28.5 points versus Miami minus 115 odds. Now, hear me out before I get any comments about it. Steph Curry can definitely hit this over, okay? He definitely can. But I went back and looked at all of the games for Miami. There has been no starting point guard that has hit this over versus Miami this year. None. So Kyle Lowry has actually done a really good job on the defensive end of the floor, stopping those opposing point guards. Miami is a very good defense overall, despite having their injuries and stuff. They are the 3rd best defense in the entire NBA, not only outright, but also for the last 3 games. With all these injuries, they still are the 3rd best defense. And then they also give up the fewest points per game to opposing point guards. So they don't give up any points to these opposing point guards. Like I said, they have been very, very solid against them. And then the Warriors should have everyone back besides for James Wiseman and Klay Thompson, of course. So that should take some of the shots away from Steph Curry. Hopefully he does give up the ball a little bit more, get a couple more assists, and it doesn't, just translate to now that everybody's back, they're going to be focusing on him and he can get more shots. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I really do think that with all these players back and with how good of a defense Miami is, I do think that he can hit this under for sure. So that's going to be my second play of the day. Steph Curry under 28.5 points versus Miami, minus 115 odds. Our next play of the day is going to be the Washington Wizards. We're going back to that game. Washington Wizards -1 versus Charlotte, minus 110 odds. Charlotte has not been very good when it comes to back-to-back games. I know that both the Wizards and the Hornets both have back-to-back games, but Charlotte is just 2-5 against the spread in these back-to-back games. So anytime that they don't really get a day off, they definitely struggle the next day. I don't know if they're just tired, sluggish, don't want to be there, whatever the case might be, but they just haven't really been very good against the spread. And talking about not being very good against the spread, as a team on the road, which they've played a lot of road games, by the way. They've played a total of 23 road games, which I think is very, that's a large number. But anyway, so they've played 23 road games, and they have covered in just 11 of them. So they're 11-12 against the spread as a road team. Now, on the flip side of this, Washington is actually a very good basketball team at home. They are 10-5 against the spread at home, so they definitely like to show out in front of their home crowd. And then on top of that, Washington has covered in their last 3 games against pretty solid opponents. They have covered against Miami, who is definitely nothing to mess around about. They have covered against my Chicago Bulls, which was very unfortunate. Definitely was hard to watch. But it was very exciting that we won, don't get me wrong. But anyway, covered against the Bulls, who are a good basketball team, and then Cleveland, who has been kind of like the sleeper of this year, but they actually covered against Cleveland as well, who's been very solid. So covered against 3 quality teams in the last 3 games, and the Charlotte Hornets haven't really been necessarily looking the greatest. So that's going to be my next play of the day. Wizards -1 versus Charlotte, minus 110 odds. And my final play of the day is going to be Jaren Jackson Jr. under 6.5 rebounds versus Brooklyn, minus 150 odds. I know it's a little bit juiced, so if you don't want to tail it, you definitely don't have to, but I'm just trying to provide some winners. So I really like this play. Jaren Jackson Jr. has only cashed the over in 1 of his last 11 games. So he has not even been trying to get rebounds, I don't think. I mean, as a starting power forward, you would think he would be getting more. Now, granted, last game he got 11, but other than that, he hasn't cashed in his last 11 games. He hasn't not hit the over, so just not necessarily the best rebounder recently. And then on top of that, he is going to be having a pretty tough task. I do think that the Memphis Grizzlies are going to put him on Kevin Durant. Now, we all know Kevin Durant can do a little bit of everything, but Kevin Durant's jump shot is just so pure. So with that being said, I do think that he is going to be on the perimeter a lot, guarding Kevin Durant. And so with that being said, he would have to get a lot of long rebounds, which I don't know if that would necessarily happen. So he would just mostly be on the perimeter, not really in the paint getting rebounds. And then on top of that, he hasn't hit this over versus Brooklyn since his rookie year, all the way back in 3 years ago, I believe it was. But he hasn't hit this over since his rookie year. So he has kind of struggled in the rebound department against Brooklyn in general. And then on the flip side of things, the Brooklyn Nets actually haven't allowed very many rebounds to opposing power forwards as of recently. And this line is actually almost perfect. You'll see why. So in the last 5 games, the Brooklyn Nets to opposing power forwards have given up 4 rebounds, 6 rebounds, 6 rebounds again, 9 rebounds, and 6 rebounds. Now, the 9 rebounds was LeBron James. I mean, come on. It's LeBron. It's going to happen. He's going to get close to 10 every single night, so nothing you can really do about that. But there's 3 games where it would have finished right on the hook. So I kind of expect that to happen again. But that is going to be my final play of the day. Jaren Jackson Jr. under 6.5 rebounds versus Brooklyn. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. You guys have been showing so much support, and I really appreciate it. I'd love to be able to hit 700 subscribers by the end of the week, and I think we can do it. I have faith in you guys. Just drop a sub for me if you guys are new. But for now, this is King Center signing out. Peace.